can't help that.
And he has to collect taxes for
Yes.
the other zip code.
Yes.
Nothing we can do about zip code.
There's nothing you can do about the way eBay
No, but the
does that.
zip code.
I know, but the zip 80138 is a Parker address, and somebody's probably knows what they're doing. Can't help that, but we need to buy locally, would be my point. All right. 2 years ago, I ended up running for Congress because Ken Buck's a lousy congressman, and somebody had to do it. So, I couldn't do that while I was serving on a central committee. So I ended up doing that, and that brings me to here. During that race, I had several friends that mentioned to me, Bob, this probably isn't kind of. You're probably not going to beat the incumbent. I said, yeah, it's probably not. But if you really want to serve your community, and this would be Kathleen Chandler and my good friend Ray Allen, who was on our conservative breakfast board. Both of them separately said, if you want to serve your community, if you've got that in your heart, you're in a place in your life where you can do that, run for commissioner. Chris's seat's going to be up real soon. And I decided that was going to be my next mission, and that's what got me here. So,
new to town, couldn't think of an educated question to come up with. But what issue?
Right.
What's the biggest issue you see? What backlash you think you'll get any backlash combating it, and what's your plan if you do?
okay. There's backlash on this one. The thing that scares me would keep me up at night. I live in a forest, and if some fire comes through, high winds, you'll get a circumstance like that Marshall fire. Now, that Marshall project was, this happened up in Boulder. We all remember it was huge and took out a couple thousand homes. A very formative day in my life was, I think it was the 24th of November, 1980, the Panorama fire in San Bernardino County. My sister remembers that. 400 homes burned down altogether in the middle of the town. It was a freak windstorm. The homes were all shake shingle roofs, and so that's what caused that. And we've had the Marshall fire, we've had the Black Forest fire, we've had a couple big fires. We have the one that's up in the foothills above Colorado Springs, and then several others. Marshall's scary because it's a community very similar to what we might make here in Elbert County. It was cluster housing with lots of open space and wildlife corridors and things like that built into it. Well, what happened was the open space was allowed to go feral, and so brush and bushes and trees and pine needles, they all got right up underneath the decks of these houses. When the fire came through, there was no opportunity to stop it. The property owners, but it won't burn their house down if we have one of these freak occurrences. The flashback is you're going to go to somebody like you and me and say, well, I need to be able to drive a fire truck completely around your house. So all that landscaping, or I'm not going to save your house, is what happens. That's what the fire department, the wildfire fighters, what they say. If they can't drive their vehicle completely around the house, they'll go to the next house. And we need to create a culture of fire safety in the county.
One here in CD1 that mentioned to me the other day about the economic sieve that's affecting the county. We know that a lot of people leave the county to go for food down to Parker and other areas. He pointed out that he does a lot of business on eBay, and that he's had a running battle with eBay because his zip code is Parker. They charge him the taxes for Parker, and we lose.
Right. So here are my thoughts on that. If I could wave a magic wand, and I might be able to, because I'll be commissioner, and I'll be able not to just make things happen magically, but I should be able to direct resources and communicate to people. I think all our, I happen to know our commissioners are currently spending a lot of time up in Denver lobbying for the money that we spend on taxes and gas taxes to come back and fix the state roads. And I will do everything in my power to make that happen. I'll crack the whip on those guys.
One of the things that I'd like to see you do
Yes.
is work with the state and the roads.
State on the roads.
86 is a mess.
Good.
Okay, and they are
Yeah.
specifically responsible.
Yeah.
I went to them and said, I went to the county and said, we need to clean this up. And they said, well, we can't do anything about
Can't
it.
touch it.
Yeah, because it's a state.
It's state. You can't
So,
do anything on 86.
Working.
Yes.
again, working with the state highway department, I mean, there are so many potholes between here and county line.
Yeah.
It's impossible to drive. So if you could at least do that,